We're back with some more table footage today. It seems to be everyone's favorite thing to watch. So I'm going to show you what I'm thinking in my head as I count cards at the blackjack table. Today we're counting cards in Canada, so there's a few differences. You're going to notice the dealer is not taking an undercard. This is common across all of Canada. You must surrender before any cards are drawn from the shoe, and you're not allowed to surrender against the dealer's ace. Hey everyone, I'm Rick from Canada. I manage a team of 8 card counters and we travel all over the map beating casinos together. Of course, we're all hockey fans down here, and we recently just took a road trip that had a combination of very good hockey and mediocre blackjack. I call this game mediocre because it has a high table min for a 6-deck game, as well as not great deck penetration, which unfortunately is common across Canada. This table has a $100 min and a $1,000 max. So here's the bet spread I was using. It gets a little bit complicated because I was using a combination of a heads up spread, considering I was alone at the table, but then limited by the table max, I would switch to 2 hands when I needed to bet above $1,000. The running count is in the bottom right corner there, so if you kind of have an idea on how to keep the running count for yourself, you can check your work along the way. It does take a substantial bankroll to afford a $100 min table. Here's my hourly EV based on table conditions and bet spread. There's not much action going on right now because we're in the negative running counts, so I'm just betting the table minimum. Tracking the cards allows us to know when the edge turns into our favor so that we can bet accordingly. You'll see as the count goes positive, that's when I fluctuate my bets. Basic strategy states that a pair of 4s splits against dealers 5 and 6. This hand gets interesting because I end up getting to split them to 4 hands, which is the maximum splits allowed. This is a thrilling part of blackjack, as your original bet can turn into so much more. This was a total action hand because not only did the dealer bust, but so many little cards just left the shoe, and now that means I get to bet more. Running count is now 12, but it's important to note that our true count is 2 because that's what we bet off of. So for a true 2, I place a $300 bet. A pair of 7s splits against dealers 3, so this is another sweaty hand. For anyone who thinks card counting allows you to win every hand, I wish you were right, but unfortunately as card counters, we only play with like a 2% edge. So what you're gonna see is, even though we're in the positive running count, the math is in our favor, we're still going back and forth with the dealer. I placed a $500 bet here. The true count was something like true 2.5, so I think that was a bit of an over bet. I should have placed a $400 bet. The blackjacks start rolling in here, which is so nice to see. You still try and act surprised that you're getting blackjacks, even though the running count tells us that tens and aces are coming. Dealer changes now. They don't burn a card at this casino, which is kind of nice. If they do burn a card, it's just one less card we got to see, but we're still going to be able to beat them either way.
Base 300, black. That's a good shot.
Our running count's starting to rise again, and this time later in the shoe. So even though we only have a running count of 9, this time it's a true 3. Here I have a 16, which can stand against dealer's 10 in any positive running count. It didn't work in this instance, but it was the correct mathematical decision. True count goes up to a true 4, so now I'm at table max $1,000 bet. Dealer makes a 19 and we lose $1,000. But the good news is the running count is even getting higher. Now I want to bet more than $1,000. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to add the second hand. And that's why you see me playing 2 hands of 800 now. Dealer has an ace, so insurance is open. We take insurance at a true 3 or higher. And in this case, we are all the way there, so I'm buying insurance. Unlike in American blackjack, when you buy insurance, the dealer then checks their hole card to see if it's there or not and takes your money. But here in Canada, we don't get to find out if the blackjack is there until it gets to the dealer's cards. The dealer busts his hand, so we win our bets, but we lose the insurance. We still have a profit of $800 on this hand. So here's like I'm just finding out what my true count is. It's a bit of a borderline decision. So I take like a second to think about it and decide that it's there for a true 6. So I'm going up to 2 hands of 1,000. Gonna surrender my 16 against dealer's 10 and happy with a $1,500 blackjack on the other hand.
Oh yeah. 1,000 pays 1,500 black card.
The running count dropped just a little bit, so I went down to 2 by 800 instead of my 2 by 1,000. 11 always doubles down, even against 10. On my second hand, I have a 16, so I'm going to utilize that 16 against 10 deviation again, and this time it pays off for me big. I win a $2,400 hand. Running count goes up, so I'm back to 2 by $1,000. You don't see it on camera, but the cut card came out, so this is the last hand. I'm praying, but the dealer does make a hand. I lose $2,000 to end the shoe. This is exactly why I was calling this blackjack game mediocre earlier in the video, because the deck penetration is 2. The running count was so high. If it was just 1 deck pen, I would have gotten so many more $1,000 bets off, but it was all cut short because of the bad deck penetration. It is a challenge to record secretly in these casinos like we do. Based on what I was betting, the running count must be around 16 or so. So here's another hot shoe where me and the dealer are just trading blackjacks. And it's important to mention that this is a big part of where our edge comes from. When we get the blackjack, we get paid 3 to 2. There's that extra portion of profit. Whereas when the dealer gets blackjack, they just take our bet. Here we go again, doubling our 11 against dealer's 10. This time, doesn't work out for us. But of course, still the correct mathematical move, so I'm going to make that decision every single time. It's always a nice hand when you get dealt a pair of 7s splitting against the dealer's 6, which is the worst card the dealer can be showing. And it leads into a soft 18, which is a hand a lot of people play wrong. So we're going to go ahead and double down our soft 18, and we get 2 of them. So we got action on the table now. I'm needing to buy in another $500 in order to double down my second bet. And now, after telling you guys how to play your soft 18, my hands look horrible. Luckily, the dealer now has a 12 and too many, so it doesn't matter what we have, we win $2,000. The count is still rising, so we're back up to our one hand of $1,000. Beautiful bust there. We win $1,000 on this hand. Gonna surrender our 16 against dealer's 10. That's a basic strategy surrender. We can beat the casinos without surrender, but whenever they do offer it, it's a nice 20% boost to our edge. Here's a spicy hand. We get to double down our $1,000 bet. Dealer shows an 11, which always makes your heart drop. But then a couple small cards come out before the 10 for a bust, and we win $2,000 on that hand. Here's another basic strategy surrender, getting rid of our 15 against dealer's 10. Here's another time we get a big edge with the 11. We double it down, and dealer makes 21. So that shoe had a lot of action in it. At the beginning of the shoe, we were winning lots. And then by the second half of the shoe, we were giving lots of it back. And that's really what it looks like with advantage blackjack. You're going back and forth, but over the long run, you're going to win more than you lose, and that's where our profits come from. So in this session, I ended up playing for a total of just over 3 hours, and I lost $3,800. They're definitely not all winning sessions. We're playing perfect mathematical blackjack to be profitable over the long run. Our card counting team has had such a good experience traveling around the globe, beating casinos at the game of blackjack, but it's definitely not the right lifestyle for everyone. So we encourage you to do the research for yourself and decide if this is an endeavor you want to try out. If you feel like Advantage Blackjack does fit your lifestyle, there's 4 steps you need to learn in order to beat the casinos. Step 1 is basic strategy. You memorize the list that tells you the correct move for any hand you can possibly be dealt. Step 2 is the running count. We use the high-low method. Placing a value system on the cards, you have to be able to keep the count in a casino setting. Step 3, true count conversion. You divide the running count by the number of decks left in the shoe to get an accurate true count. The true count is what you use to determine what you're going to bet next. And the final step is deviations. This is a list telling you when to deviate from basic strategy based on the running count. If you want to learn how to beat the game with us, our team of card counters hosts 7 live training sessions per week, showing you exactly how we play in the casino, which generated us 7 figures in profit over the last few years.